Hey guys, last lesson of chapter 4. Alright, so today we are going to learn how to divide a mixed number by a fraction and a mixed number. Okay? Alright, so first thing that we need to do is we need to find what 1 3/4 divided by 2/5 is. So just like we've been doing before and previously, we are going to make our mixed number into an improper fraction. So how you do that is you are going to take 4 times 1, which is going to be 4, plus the top number, okay, which is going to be 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. And then you leave the 4 on the bottom. Then we got divide by 2/5. So now we are going to do what we did last time in the last previous 2 lessons. We are going to keep it, we're going to switch, and then flip, okay? So we are going to keep 7/4, okay? Switch division to multiplication, and then we are going to flip the last one, which is then going to be 5/2. And then we are going to multiply across. So we get 7 times 5 is 35, and then we get 4 times 2, which is 8. Okay. Now we need to reduce this. Now I don't think that there's a number that both of those numbers can go into. So we are going to kick 35 off, and then we're going to put 8 on the outside. So 8 goes into 35, I believe, 4 times, which is 32. And then we get 3 left over. So our answer should be 4 whole times, 3 remainder, and 8 as the denominator. Okay? All right, same thing again. So we are going to take this number and we are going to make it into an improper fraction. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So we have 15/4 divided by 4/5. Okay? So again, we're going to keep, we're going to, switch, and then flip. Okay? So we're going to keep 15/4. Okay, switch from division to multiplication, and then we are going to flip the last one, which is 5/4. So here we go. We are going to take 15 times 5, which is 15 times 5 is, I believe, 75. 75. Okay. And then 16 is 4 times 4 is 16. Now, again, I don't believe there is a number that both of these numbers can be divided by, so I'm going to take 75 off, and I'm going to put 16 on the outside. So I kind of have a rough estimate of how many times 16 can go into 75 since we did 15 times 5. So I'm going to do 16 times 4, okay, which is then we get 4, and that's 2, and that is 64. So if I add another 16, which is going to be 80, that's going to be too high. So we're going to stick with 4. So 4 whole times, okay, so 64, and then it's 9, so we get remainder 9, which then we have our answer, which is going to be 4 9/16. All right, going too far. All right, once again, we are going to make these mixed numbers into improper fractions. You always do that first, okay? So we have 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11/2. And then we have 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, okay? All right, so since we have this, now we can start our keep, switch, flip. So that is going to look like 11/2, that's keep. We're switching to multiplication, and we're flipping to 2/5. And now we're going to first reduce these numbers. So 2 and 2 both can be crossed out, and they can both be divided by themselves, which is then we're going to get 1. So then we have 11/5, which is also equal to 2 1/5. Okay, how I got 2 1/5 is I divided 11 by 5. Okay, and that was 2, and that's 10, and that's 1, so I get remainder 1. So then we have our whole number, remainder, and our denominator. Okay, if you did not cross those out, that's okay. You would still get 22 over 10, which then you could divide those both by 2, which again, you're going to get 11 over 5, which then you're still going to get 2 and 1/5. Okay. Example 4. All right. So example 4, we have 4 and 2/3 divided by 1 and 3/4. So we're going to multiply all of this. Okay. So we have 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 is 14. Okay. Over 3. We're going to keep that division right now. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. Okay. All right. And now let's start our process. So we are going to keep 14 over 3, switch to multiplication, and flip to 4 over 7. All right. Now you can take 14 and 7 and divide them both by 7, which will get us 1 and 2. All right. Which then let's start multiplying across. So we get 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3, which then we're going to get 2 and 2/3 as our answer, because 3 goes in 2 whole times with 2 left over. Again, if you didn't want to cancel these out at first, you can multiply 14 times 4, which you're going to get 56, and then you're going to get over 21, and you can divide those both by 7, which then you're still going to get 3 over 8, which again you're still going to get 2 and 2/3. Okay, again I got 2 and 2/3 because I put 8 in the box, divided it by 3, which I said 3 goes into 8 2 times, which then we get 6, 2 left over, and we have 2 whole times, remainder, and denominator. Okay. All right, I believe that this is the last one of the chapter. Okay, so the average adult male giant panda weighs about 1 1/5 times as much as the average female. If the average weight of a male giant panda is 330 pounds, how much does the average female giant panda weigh? Okay, so first we're going to do 1 and 1/5. Divide, actually we're going to put 300 first. Okay, we're going to put that number first because we are actually going to be dividing it by this. So we're going to do 330 divided by 1 and 1/5. Okay, it is easy to get confused and say that this is the first number. Make sure that you reread the problem if you don't quite understand, and that will help you figure out where you're going to be putting your equation, your parts of your equation. So let's start by making this into an improper fraction, which is going to be 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. So that's going to be 6 over 5. Okay, now we have 330 divided by 6 over 5. And we're going to make 330 into a fraction. So I have my 330 over 1 divided by 6 over 5. And now I have to keep, switch, flip. So I'm going to keep 330 over 1, switch to multiplication, and then we're going to flip 6/5 over to 5/6. And then we're going to multiply across. So I don't know what 330 times 5 is, so I'm going to do that real quick here, which is going to get me 1650 divided by 6. And again, since I do not know any of these off the top of my head, I'm going to take 1650 divided by 6, which then I'm going to get 12, and that is 45, 7, 42, which is going to be 3, and that's 6. So we are going to get this to be 276, and that is our answer. I know this is a little sloppy down here. I'm really sorry about that. but that is going to be our answer, okay? If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I can give you guys extra help. My email is eggertc@beardstown.com. My phone number is there on the screen. Let me know if you need any extra help. We are done with chapter 4.